Now, gum disease begins with inflammation caused by a bacterial buildup, essentially, that's leading to redness, swelling, and bleeding. And if it's not addressed, it can progress to periodontal disease, which eventually then affects the tissues and the bones supporting the teeth. But that's not really where the damage ends. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rob Vanbergen. Today we're diving into a fascinating and critical topic, which is how microcurrent therapy can be a game changer in healing gum disease and promoting overall oral health. But more importantly, we're going to discuss how poor oral health can negatively impact your entire body. Now, many people don't realize that their oral health is a direct reflection of their overall well-being. Gum disease isn't just swollen, bleeding gums when you brush, right? It can be a red flag for more serious systemic health issues. Left untreated, infections in the mouth can contribute to chronic inflammation, which has been linked to heart disease, diabetes, respiratory infections, autoimmunes, and even cognitive decline. So we're talking about brain damage to a degree. Now, gum disease begins with inflammation caused by a bacterial buildup, essentially, that's leading to redness, swelling, and bleeding. And if it's not addressed, it can progress to periodontal disease, which eventually then affects the tissues and the bones supporting the teeth. But that's not really where the damage ends. The bacteria from infected gums, they don't just stay in the mouth, okay? They can enter the bloodstream and they can travel through the body. They can trigger more inflammation in different organs. Studies have kind of found that individuals with gum disease are at a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular problems like clogged arteries and strokes. And it doesn't really stop there either. There's a strong connection between oral health and diabetes. I kind of briefly mentioned that earlier. Gum infections can actually make it harder to control blood sugar levels, and this creates a vicious cycle that worsens both conditions. Poor oral health is also linked to respiratory issues, right? The bacteria from the mouth can be inhaled into the lungs, and this can increase the risk of pneumonia and other infections too. Now, emerging research suggests a link between gum disease and that cognitive decline piece too. This includes Alzheimer's disease. So this is something that we should all be very aware of. Alzheimer's disease is becoming more and more prevalent in younger and younger people, and it's something that we should be looking at as not an inevitability, but as something that can be prevented. Chronic inflammation from these gum infections can contribute to the buildup of harmful proteins in the brain associated with that memory loss and dementia. So if you think oral health is just about keeping your teeth and gums in good shape, you kind of got to think again there. The mouth is a gateway to the body. It is part of that body electric, and maintaining its health is crucial for overall wellness. The good news is, though, that while it by itself is not going to solve everything, microcurrent therapy offers some amazing tools and techniques to not only manage gum disease, but to support systemic health. So it can become a complementary tool in optimizing the oral microbiome and working to heal the body. It utilizes low-level electrical currents, right, that mimic the body's natural bioelectricity, and they help to stimulate healing, to reduce inflammation, to regenerate tissue. Now, when applied to the gums directly with something like the tongue stimulator, or to the jawline even with just the device itself along the edge of the jaw, you are essentially enhancing circulation. You're bringing in new oxygen, more blood flow, white blood cells. You're fighting off infection, and you can enhance repair, including even bone regeneration. So devices like the Evolution, the Genesis 2, these are designed to be able to be used both professionally and for home use. At the Santa Institute, we'd be looking at using these professionally. And while you wouldn't want to be putting tools in people's mouths necessarily in practice, you would be able to achieve great results even from just working over the jawline and performing some of the protocols that are more designed for professional use versus personal use. So in that case, these devices are extremely easy to use, and they can be highly effective in managing dental conditions without even going into the oral cavity itself. Now, studies have shown that microcurrent therapy can significantly reduce gum inflammation. It can decrease bacteria load. It can even accelerate healing after dental procedures by improving our oral health. We are also looking at reducing the burden of systemic inflammation, right? And we all know systemic inflammation leads to chronic disease. This lowering the risk of chronic disease by getting rid of that systemic inflammation is the way to go. So what I want to do here is use this as an opportunity to invite you to join us in our upcoming dental lab. If you have not already done so, our dental lab starts next week, February 26th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a 3-hour dental course where we'll be going through all of the oral and dental health protocols that we have in our back pocket and discussing all the value of the different tools that you can use. If you have not yet registered, it is not too late, but it is coming close if you want to attend this event. So you can sign up in the link in the description. During this dental lab, okay, we're going to talk about kind of an expanded version of what we talked about here, the connection between oral health and dental wellness, and how microcurrent therapy can effectively treat gum disease and other dental issues, including specific protocols for many oral health conditions, including things like cavitations, the gum disease we talked about today, regeneration of tissue, and systemic problems that can stem from oral health. So we're going to go into a deep dive in all of these things. We're going to talk about some demonstrations of how to use these technologies and techniques. And we're also going to have a Q&A session to answer all of the questions you might have in this live session as well. For those of you who can't attend live, you will get access to a replay as well. So even if something comes up, you will still be able to enjoy the event. Now, again, the deadline to sign up for this event and be able to attend it live is coming up. So I encourage you to dive into it right away and get registered so you're ready to go. Okay. Now, spaces for the lab are unlimited, meaning that you're kind of going to be able to keep joining if you want to. And of course, you'll still be able to purchase the recording after the event. However, I do think that these events are best consumed live, because if any questions come up and no one else asks that question that you thought of, you're going to miss out a little bit. So you'll be able to get in there and access all of this information live. And it's also great to do these interactive live classes. So I really look forward to speaking to all of you and, seeing some of your faces grinning back at me as we try and work through this complex but exciting topic. So don't miss this opportunity. Join me, learn more about all of what oral health can do if you can improve it to heal your body systemically. So I hope to see many of you over there. Until next week, I'll see you then for another 10-minute training. Take care.